Meetings can be time savers or time wasters. So in this video, we're going to look at how you can know whether a meeting makes the best use of your time. Meetings can save you time or they can waste your time. And it all really depends on two things. Firstly, how well the meeting is planned, prepared and run. And that's out of your hands when you're attending someone else's meeting. And we'll look at that in more detail in other videos. But the other thing it depends upon is how well you prepare and how well you use your time at the meeting. A good meeting can bring together just the right group of people so that their cumulative knowledge, experience, expertise can build to more than the sum of its parts and therefore find creative solutions, discuss things in a rich and complex way, and make effective decisions. Meetings are real work and they can be very productive. But on the other hand, far too many meetings waste the time of some of the people or even all of the people who attend. And to get an idea of just how valuable meeting time is and therefore just what a waste a badly run meeting can be, let's do a simple calculation. We're going to multiply the value of your time by the average length of the meetings that you attend, by the number of meetings you typically attend in a week, and by the number of weeks you work in a year. What that will give us is the value of the time you spend in meetings, and therefore a measure of what your meeting time is worth to you and to your employer. So let's say that you work 45 weeks a year as an example, and you work 8 hours a day and have a salary of 50,000 US dollars. That may sound a lot to some of you and not very much to others, but it's a nice simple figure to work with. What that gives you is a time value of around $28 per hour. Now, suppose your meetings are typically an hour long and you have 4 a week on average. So what does that give us? That gives us $28 per hour times 1 hour times 4 per week times 45 weeks. That's $5,000 a year. Or put another way, 10% of your earnings. As a result, it makes absolute sense to think whether any meeting you go to is going to be a good use of your investment of time. And to do that, I suggest you make 6 choices. Choice number 1 is straightforward. Should I attend? And you're going to make that decision based on a number of things. The value of the meeting to you, the value of the meeting to the organisation, and the value of the contribution you can make to that meeting. You'll also be thinking about who else is attending. And you'll be taking a look at the quality of the agenda, how well it's been prepared, and the materials that are available. Is there sufficient information available for you to make an effective contribution? And finally, you should also be thinking about whether you can get even better value for your time in an alternative way, perhaps with side conversations or telephone calls or one-on-one discussions. And having made your choice about whether to attend, it's worth thinking about the best way to accept and the best way to decline, depending on your choice. Assuming you are going to attend, choice number 2 is should you attend all or just some of the meeting? Because there is a huge value in looking at the agenda and only attending for the components of the agenda where you can add value or draw value from the meeting. If, for example, the meeting is broad and covers a number of points, then it makes sense to contact the chair of the meeting and let them know that you intend to attend the meeting just for the first half or just for the second half of the meeting, because in that part of the meeting there are discussions where you can contribute or which you need to listen to. My experience is if you handle these conversations in a polite and respectful manner and you give a good, clear reason why you won't be attending the whole meeting, most meeting facilitators or chairs will be only too pleased to have you attend on the basis that you've thought very carefully about their meeting, what you can give to that meeting, and what the meeting can get from you. So, you're attending all or part of the meeting. Choice number 3 is how much time you are going to dedicate to preparing for that meeting. Because if it's worth going, it's worth preparing for. I'll be devoting a whole video to preparing for meetings, so for now, all I'm going to say is that your preparation should focus on 2 things. Firstly, it should focus on the outcomes of that meeting, particularly the outcomes for you. What do you want to see happen or change or be decided as a result of that meeting? And therefore, what's your part in that outcome? And secondly, familiarity with the issues, the materials, the people who are attending. Make sure you know the background. Make sure you're ready to contribute in an informed manner. Choice number 4. What attitude will you bring to the meeting? Because if you can't bring some positive attitude to the meeting, it's probably better not to attend. But if you are going to go to the meeting, then you want that kind of positive attitude. Is it going to be an energetic attitude, an attitude of contribution? Is it going to be one of curiosity, of seeking to learn from the meeting? You need to be enthusiastic and open. But think about the balance of listening and sucking in information from the meeting and participating and contributing information and ideas to the meeting. And finally, one attitude I think is very important to all meetings is one of independence. Yes, it's important that the meeting reaches agreements that people can all accept, even if it's not the agreement they would have wanted. But everyone needs to go into a meeting with that independent frame of mind that is determined to test the discussions and the arguments and the contributions rationally and thoughtfully. Choice number 5. How will I contribute to the meeting? And yet again, we'll devote a whole video to this because it's very important. But principally, recognise that when you're going to contribute, you will need to contribute in a clear and structured way. Think through the contributions you want to make and how you're going to make them to give the maximum positive impact on the conversation, the discussion, the decisions, on the people in the room with you. And choice number 6. How much time will you spend post-pairing? Post-pairing? I've never heard that word before. It's a word I invented. I'm kind of hoping that other people will pick it up, because if you can prepare before a meeting, then why shouldn't you post-pair after a meeting? If it's been worth attending the meeting, if the meeting has discussed important issues, if it's made significant decisions, if it's committed to relevant actions, then it's got to be worth spending time reflecting on what you've learned and acting to follow up on the conversations you've had and the actions you've accepted. So think about how much time you've got available even before you go to the meeting to follow up on the meeting to properly post-pair. So in this video we've seen 6 choices you need to make to determine whether a meeting is going to be good use of your time, and then to make sure that it is good use of your time. Please hit the thumbs up if you like this video. There's a lot more great management courses content to come, so please subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell to make sure you don't miss anything. I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video, and in the meantime, keep learning.